Okay guys, hi, welcome back to my channel, and as you could see by the title, today we are going to tackle patterns and try to navigate in a pattern, because I have a couple of friends who are interested in sewing, but I think they are a little bit afraid to start, and maybe they don't understand all the things in a pattern magazines. There is a lot of information. Sometimes it's really hard to navigate yourself, and sometimes you don't even know what is important, what is not important. So I'm hoping to answer all these questions for you today. I hope it will be helpful for you. And okay, let's dive in and let's see what is this about. Okay guys, so today I will be showing you and explaining on Burda magazine, because I think it's one of the most accessible magazines and I'm quite familiar with it. So I am able to give you the most important informations for you to be able to navigate yourself in this magazine, to be able to find the pattern that you want, and all the necessary information that you need to know before you start. So let's open it. Let's say it doesn't matter which pattern we are going to choose. So let's say we want, I don't know, let's say this dress, okay? I will put you closer. So this is the dress that we want. The first thing to look at, and this is just my advice, but you probably know it, you have these 4 dots here, which means what kind of level of pattern this is, which kind of difficulty is this pattern. So you can see you have 2 dots, so probably is not the easiest, but maybe still good for a beginner. Okay, another thing that you look at is this line drawing. It will help you, in my opinion, it will help you a lot, because sometimes the patterns and the pictures can be quite distracting from the reality. You don't really see what is this dress about. You don't really see where are the seams, where are some pleats sometimes. And sometimes you just simply don't like the pattern and you decide, oh, this dress is not nice, I will not make it. But when you look here, it is so simplified. You can imagine yourself doing it in any pattern that you like. You can see where are the pleats, which in this photo is quite hard to see because she's wearing sweater over it. She is covering a lot of details with her arm, so definitely this is something to look at. Then you have probably some description next to the picture, and you know, they say a little bit blah 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 about the style of this dress, but what is important is here. So usually you have written here which kind of material this dress is made of. And if you know something about materials, you can also quickly answer to yourself if it's possible to make it in something that you imagine. Of course, different material will have a different drape. Of course, you have patterns that are that's supposed to be made of elastic materials, which is French terry, jersey, and such. It will quickly answer to you some of the questions, but there will be more in instructions, okay? So this is like the first information that you get just out of this page. In some magazines, they choose some pattern and they will give you better directions. They will give you some illustrations, which is really helpful for a beginner. But it's not all of them, and not all of the magazines are like this, okay? But if you don't know, if you are not sure, my advice is go for it. If you like the pattern and you think it will be much easier for you to try first something with more detailed direction, definitely go and try this. But when you go to the middle of the magazine, usually it's in the middle of the magazine or at the end, doesn't matter, you have this piece of big paper where all the patterns are, and then we have instructions over here. I don't know why I was saying directions. Instructions. So as you can see, all the patterns have their numbers. So I go back, I look which number is my pattern, and it is 105A. I also check which sizes there are. 105, then I go here and I try to find 105. 105 is here, okay? I will put you closer. So over here you have written that is dress, on which page it was. Then you have written sizes available. You have written the length of the skirt, maybe a little bit of description. Then what is important for us is this, where you have written materials. They will give you always suggestion what is good, what kind of fabrics are good for this pattern. And as a beginner, I think that you should follow it, because maybe you don't have a lot of knowledge about fabrics and you can easily do mistakes, because there is just so much information that you need to absorb when you are beginning. And so I would just take their guiding hand and, you know, just listen what they are telling me. If I am beginner. If you are more advanced, you know a little bit more, you of course know if you can afford yourself to go out of this box and make this pattern in something else, or maybe you know how to adjust this pattern to be made in different type of fabric. Here you have little short instructions on how to cut this, how to copy the pattern. Here you have also information if you have to add an extra seam allowance, because some of the patterns they don't include in seam allowance, and this is something to look for in the instruction. You need to know this information, because if you're gonna cut a pattern that doesn't include seam allowance and you're not gonna add any, you may easily end up with something that doesn't fit you at all. So be careful about this. And then we have this little rectangle here, which tells you on which page of this you can find the pattern, and you have A, B, C, D, I think. So you go into this and you see all of them, they have letters. So you look quickly here and it says that it will be on the page C. You found your C. Then it will tell you, as you can see, of course, it has a lot of colors. This will also tell you that it's on the page C in which color you should look for this specific pattern. So here it says green, C. Then it tells you the numbers of the patterns that you are looking. As you can see, these are the drawings of all the patterns that you need. It will tell you you need pieces from 1 to number 8. So then you can go and just check that you got everything that you needed. You will have a better look at the patterns. And what is important here, and this, not every magazine will give you this kind of information, but in Burda you have it. If you look closer, well, I will put you closer. If you look closer, some of these patterns, they have like a little details, little markings, which are exactly the same as on a real size pattern that you will cut. And sometimes, because it's so difficult to navigate yourself, because there are a lot of patterns, lines going through each other and stuff like this, and maybe you will miss it easily. But then when you look back, you refer to this, you will see, oh yeah, there was a line, there was a marking I forgot to mark on my pattern. So go back to this and just check if you draw everything there, because this is really important. You need to properly mark your patterns, okay, before sewing. And as you can see over here, you have different type of lines. What does that mean? Here you have the sizes that are available, And here you have a different type of lines which refer to specific size. So again, you go to the page C, you look for a color green, you look for these numbers of pattern, but when you will find it, you will also have to look which type of line you are looking for. So let's say I want size 72. So I see it's like a little line with the dots. So this is the line I'm going to copy. I'm not going to copy this. I'm not going to copy this. I'm just going to copy this line because this is the size that I need. I will just quickly come back to one thing that I just said, and it is a grain line. Maybe some people don't know what is a grain line, or they heard it but they don't understand it. So the grain line is, okay, here you have a fabric, okay, and this is the width of the fabric. This usually you have this information when you are buying fabric, and each fabric has a different width, okay. Most of the time it's 140, 150 centimeters. Some fabric are extremely big, they have even 3 meters, but some fabric are smaller, 1 meter 20 and so, okay. So but you fold your fabric here, and all this edge of the fabric that usually is not fraying, or it's written there which brand it is, or who is the designer of the fabric, okay. This is the selvage edge of the fabric, and everything that goes same with this line is a grain line, okay. So when you have a pattern piece like this arrow is a grain line. It is showing you which direction you should put your pattern. So they didn't draw it here, but let's just quickly add it here. Okay, this is a grain line. So it has to be the same as this. And how you check it, because you know not all the pattern pieces are simple rectangles, like for example this sleeve, okay. You will measure from selvage edge until this point, let's say, I don't know, whatever, 30 centimeters, okay, and you will manipulate your pattern in a way that where there is the end of arrow, if you measure it again from here until here, it will be 30 centimeters. Then it means that you put it straight and you put it the way you're supposed to put it, okay. I don't know how to explain it, but this is a grain line, okay. So it's something that you have to pay also a lot of attention to, and it's quite important. Okay guys, so when you open the pages with the patterns and you find the C, and you look for a green lines, and you look for the pieces from number 1 to 8, as we said. You go down, for example, on this pattern, on this piece is down, sometimes it can be up, it doesn't matter, okay? But you look for the green numbers and number from 1 to 8. So let's see, here we have number 1A. How to find it, okay? You simply go from this number vertically up, or when it's up you go down, okay. Doesn't matter, I hope you understand what I mean. Okay, anyway, here we are, it's down. So we go vertically up, and in the same line until we find the number that we are looking for. So all this line, when I will follow, which seems like quite a lot for you right now, but trust me, you will get it, you will understand it. It's not a science, you will understand it, okay? Have a confidence in you guys. So you follow this line, but you remember which size you are looking for. That means which type of line you are looking for. I will just show it to you here, for example, where you can see that all these lines belong to one pattern piece. But this is the point where the pattern is changing depending on the size that you need. So you know, based on your size, which type of line you need to follow, okay? And then you will follow this line on each specific pattern. When you have a line like this, for example, here, which is a full line, that means this is the same line for each size. Don't forget to put your markings. As you can see, here is some type of marking. Here you have this little marking. But all of this, it's so complicated. It's so many lines, so you can easily forget. So just go back and here refer to this again and look on the details. Which markings are there? You can see here probably some notch on the sleeve, number 8, number 6. You see here there is this kind of wavy line, probably means that there you will have to do some gathering here. Okay, all of these things, all of these numbers, all of these little lines, even this little line, everything should be on your pattern. And it's easy to miss it. It's normal. Sometimes it's even impossible to find it. So just go back before you finished and check if you have all of this. If you will have all of it, trust me, the process of sewing and following the instructions will be way more easier for you and you will do no mistakes, trust me. Okay guys, and one last thing I want to say to you as an advice, if I can. Go for sewing magazines because they are most of the time cheaper. You get a lot of patterns for a good price. Different in this, for example, you buy just one pattern, probably you have maybe 2 options, but you will pay maybe 7 euros or something like that for this, and the same price for the magazine full of patterns, okay? So and at the beginning there will be a lot of things to pay for when you start sewing. You will need a lot of stuff. You will be constantly just spending your money. So as I said last video, save your money where you can, and this is a good choice. And don't be intimidated by all of this. It's really not so complicated. And one more thing is, never cut in this. I know you could be so lazy and just literally cut, but this would be exactly going against yourself. You bought this magazine with many patterns. Listen, once you cut it, that's it. You have only one pattern. You have only one size available. All the other patterns are destroyed. So this is really not a good thing to do. So what I recommend you to get yourself some transparent paper that you can see the lines. It's totally up to you, the choice. You can buy any paper you like, just, you know, it needs to be transparent, that you will be able to follow the lines. And just put it on your pattern, okay? Sometimes it's good to look back, make yourself a mental picture where it is, and then you just simply follow it, follow the lines, okay? You go, you choose which size you need. Follow, okay, markings, I see here, this is number 4, and so and so. Okay guys, so I think that's it for today. I tried to tell you as much as I know, as much as I could. I hope that I could help you. If I didn't, I'm sorry. I really tried. If you have any questions, please just ask me. I will be really happy to answer. If I know, if I don't know, I will try to find the information for you. And thank you again that you stopped by and you watched this video. If you like it, please give it a like. You have no idea how much it will help me. Of course, if you hate this video, don't put like. I'm not going to force you. But if you like it, if it was helpful for you, please take a second and give it a like, because it helps me really a lot. Yeah, and let me know what you would like to see next time, and I will see if I can make it for you. Okay, thank you guys, bye bye.